pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ no dull moment táago méjìlá òru máa fi kúrò àkọ́kọ́ adẹ̀ lè fi yọ wà láti bí aago mẹ́ta ọ̀sán lè fi kọ́kọ́ ọlọ́run fún ní ọ̀pọ̀ púpọ̀ ó ní òye ó sì ní òfẹ́ sí nǹkan tí kò lè sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí nípa ẹ̀ kò sígbà kankan tó wà ní báyọ̀ tí òye kọ́kọ́ nípa from politics to economy to humanity ó máa sọ anything anytime any topic any focus do and tó bá jẹ́ pé personal issue náà ni ó fẹ́ ìfẹ́ láàrin àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ kò sì ń fẹ́ kí gbọ́mi sómi tó ó jẹ́ ní tó máa ń fẹ́ ṣẹ́tù tí àwọ̀ bá wà kò fẹ́ wàhálà rárá.
láti tó bí ọdún mélòó tí ẹ̀yà tí wọ́n ti ń ṣọ̀rọ̀.
àmà ètò 27 years wáyé.
mẹ́tàdínlọ́gbọ̀n.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
kò wá sí bẹ́yàn ṣe lè dáadáa tí ò ní lè mọ ìdí ẹ̀ka lọ sí ẹjẹ́ àmọ́ bí tó kú bí ẹ̀ka lọ sí.
tí kò sì ní tẹ́lú mi lọ́wọ́ ọba ṣe báyọ̀ ní sísìn máa sọ fún ẹ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ gbéyàn sínú bóyá bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣá wọ́n tún ní ibi tó dáa ni tó bá dẹ̀ ti sọ tán ó ti parí nìyẹn tí ó bá ti sọ yẹn ó sì bínú ó dẹ̀ fẹ́ rí ẹ̀ kó sọ fún ẹ.
orúkọ mi ni Ayọ̀dèjì Abbas Alẹ́ṣinlọ́yẹ́.
ẹ jọ sá kí lẹ lè bá wa sọ fáwọn èèyàn nípa Adébáyọ̀ Adélabú.
Adébáyọ̀ Adélabú jẹ́ ọlọ́pọlọ pípé èèyàn ó jẹ́ ẹni tó lóye ẹni tí Ọlọ́run nífẹ̀ẹ́ ẹni tí ó ń ṣe tí wọ́n lè pè ní àwọn olóṣèlú òde àsìkò yìí tí ó dẹ̀ nífẹ̀ẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù lọ́kàn gan tí Ọlọ́run nífẹ̀ẹ́ púpọ̀ torí ṣàṣà èèyàn ló lè ti dé gbogbo tí Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó gbélé ayé ṣe ní irú ọjọ́ orí tó wà yìí ṣàṣà ènìyàn ló ti lè ṣerú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ wàá bá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé.
Ǹjẹ́ lè sọ fún wa bóyá ó ní nǹkan tí wọ́n ní lọ́kàn fún àwọn aráàlú lásìkò ìtẹ́yìn mọ̀.
Ó pọ̀ mo rò pé àtijọ́ wa ń bí látara yẹn náà gbọ́ bóyá sọ̀rọ̀ rí i pé even gbogbo ìgbà ìbò tó lọ ní 2019 gbogbo èèyàn kò síbi tí wọ́n ti ṣe ìfọ̀rọ̀wérọ̀ tó ń pè ní debate tí ò ti jẹ́ gbogbo èèyàn wọ́n dá yíyọ sọ́tọ̀ wípé ọlọ́pọlọ pípé ẹ̀dá ni ọmọkùnrin ó ṣe dáadáa púpọ̀ ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ ẹnìkan tí ó ní ètò fún ẹ̀kọ́ nínú ìjọba tó wà lóde ìsìn ara ń tó lòun máa ṣe láàrin 100 days tó ń bá wà nípò ó ní pé òun á tán ibi pé iná wà káàkiri ara àwọn program ẹ̀sìn làwọn tí ó wà lóde ìsìn náà ó ní wọ́n ń tà láti múlò àkàndé ìdání Ọlọ́run dáa púpọ̀ jù.
Ó túmọ̀ sí pé láìpẹ́ a ó máa rí ọwọ́ ọjà wọn
káàkiri àwọn ìwé bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ń rí 50 ọdún ló fẹ́ ṣe yìí ní 50 ọdún tó fẹ́ ṣe yìí ẹ wo housing unit tó fẹ́ ṣe ẹ wo ilé ìgbafẹ́ èyí tó kọ́ ó túmọ̀ sí pé àìmọye èèyàn ló ń gbà síṣẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ nínú àwọn akẹgbẹ́ ìtọ́jọ́ fẹ́ di ìbò àtẹ̀yí tó ń gbèrò nínú ẹgbẹ́ mi ni àtẹ̀yí tó ń gbèrò kẹ́ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ wò èwo ló dá ilé iṣẹ́ lẹ̀ tó báyìí ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ bí Báyọ̀ Adélabú ṣe ṣe so àkàndá ẹ̀dá ni ẹni tọ́lọ́run nífẹ̀ẹ́ ni.
mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún ààbò ẹ̀ lórí mi àti bó ṣe dúró tì mí ní gbogbo ìgbésẹ̀ tí mo gbé nílé ayé mi tí mo fi pé 50 ọdún. mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan tí mo bá àwọn oníròyìn sọ̀rọ̀ wípé bàbá tó bàbá tèmi ọdún 43 òní wọ́n pé wọ́n lò láyé tó jẹ́ bàbá mi ọdún 33 òní wọ́n kú. so mo ní ọ̀nà ọpẹ́ láti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé mo pé 50 ọdún lè rí bó ṣe máa ń lò kọjá 100 ọdún ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo tí ojú wa ti rí tí adẹ̀ ti là kọjá a dúpẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run dúró tì wá pẹ̀lú ìdúróṣinṣin ìgbàgbọ́ nínú Ọlọ́run àti iṣẹ́ kárakára kò síbi tí ọmọ ẹ̀dá fẹ́ dé láyé tí kò ní débẹ̀ àti máa dàgbà ó le díẹ̀ lórí ọmọ ọdún 4 péré ni mo pé nígbà tí bàbá mi kú ìyá mi sì wà ní ọmọ ọdún 23 tó ní láti lọ rì máa rì ọ̀dọ̀ màmá arúgbó tó yà màmá bàbá wa òun la gbé dàgbà adẹ̀mọ̀ fún màmá tó jẹ́ pé ata èlùbọ́ àlùbọ́sà náà ń tà àmọ́ bó ṣe rí tipátipá la fi máa ń di ẹ̀mẹ́ta pé nígbà míì ṣùgbọ́n ní ọjọ́ tèmi a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run nínú oore tó ti ṣe fún wa. Gbogbo tí ẹ̀dá bá fẹ́ dà láyé yìí tó bá ti lè fi ojú sí tó dẹ̀ fi ìmọ̀ sí tó dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ tó fi ìrètí ẹ̀ sínú Ọlọ́run, ó máa débẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ lè ṣiṣẹ́ kárakára. Inú mi dùn wípé mo pé ọmọ 50 ọdún lónìí.
Àwọn nǹkan wo lẹ wò pé ẹ̀ ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ tí ẹ fẹ́ wá ṣe àtúnṣe sí báyìí pẹ̀lú bá àgbà ti ṣe dé?
Bí àgbà ti ṣe dé, ó yẹ kémi náà ti gbọ́n sí, ìrírí náà ti pọ̀ sí. Mo fẹ́ súnmọ́ Ọlọ́run jù báyìí lọ, because Ọlọ́run nìkan ni èèyàn lè sábà ní ọjọ́ ìṣòro. Òun ló dẹ̀ ń dáàbò bò wá. Mo tá fẹ́ dà, òun náà ló sọ wá dà. Mo fẹ́ súnmọ́ Ọlọ́run jù báyìí lọ. Mo tún fẹ́ rí dájú wípé mo ran àwọn èèyàn tó súnmọ́ mi lọ́wọ́. Àwọn tó yẹ pé bóyá iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣe kò tó nǹkan, àbí oṣù tó ń gbà kò tó nǹkan, àbí àwọn tó jẹ́ aláìlera lára, àbí àwọn tó jẹ́ opó, àbí àwọn tí ó jẹ́ ọmọ aláìníyà. Mo rò pé kò sí nǹkan tí àwáyé wá ṣe jù bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lọ láti máa na ọwọ́ ìrànlọ́wọ́ sírú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Mo fẹ́ make sure wípé again ní Ọ̀yọ́ state yìí bí yóò ṣe da olójà wa lógún. Now mo ti di full-time politician and businessman ní agbára Ọlọ́run. Bí Ọ̀yọ́ state a ṣe máa gbòòrò láti máa dàgbàsókè sí, ó máa jẹ mí lógún báyìí.
Nǹkan ẹyọkan péré tẹ́ wò pé tẹ́ ẹ bá di gómìnà lẹ́yìn tẹ́ bá gbé ṣe nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ó lè tún kan yí padà nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ dáadáa. Nǹkan ẹyọkan péré.
Nǹkan ẹyọkan péré ó ní wípé kí a wá ọ̀nà bí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa bí wọ́n á ṣe máa rí iṣẹ́ ṣe. How the youth will be engaged. Tó bá rí iṣẹ́ ṣe, ọ̀nà àti máa ṣe ìpáǹle àbí ìwà ọ̀daràn kò ní sí. Àlàáfíà máa jọba nínú ìlú. Àwọn náà dẹ̀ máa rí ọwọ́ mú lọ sẹ́nu. Bàbá rere bàbá kẹ̀tọ́ ṣe kiri yìí kò ní sí mọ́. Àwọn náà máa rí ibi jí tó dẹ̀ máa lọ. Owó tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń fi ọwọ́ rẹ̀ tó fi ń pa wọlé, ó máa mọ bó ṣe máa ná sí nǹkan gidi. Bí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa ṣe máa rí iṣẹ́ ní nǹkan ẹyọkan yẹn.
Àmọ̀ràn yín ní ṣókí fún gbogbo ará ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Àrọ̀mọ́ ní jókòó fún ará ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ni pé kí a fi ọkàn wa mọ Ọlọ́run. Àsìkò tó máa dájú báyìí lọ, ó sì ń bọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Ṣùgbọ́n ká nífẹ̀ẹ́ ọmọnìkejì wa, ká nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìlú wa, ká máa ṣe nǹkan sí ilẹ̀ òkèrè mú, ká máa kó gbogbo ẹ̀ wá sí inú ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. A ó rí i pé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ náà ó lè di London, ó lè di America.
And let me say congratulations to you on the celebration of your 50th birthday.
Anything about that in our position center? What is going on about it, sir? Do you just want to abandon it or you have planned to open it soon? Thank you.
And I'm the chairperson of Women Journalists in Oyo State. My question, sir. Community development. What have you done to assist people at the grassroots?
Officiality, as much as possible. Let's not mind informally. Like someone said that 2 good herbs are always better than 1. I can see about 120 good herbs here. So whatever come out of this brainstorming session, that's how I will call it, I believe will be better than what I sit down and think about alone. So I welcome all the questions and I thank you for the questions. In total, I have 20 questions here and I will try to do justice to all these questions. From the nation, you asked the question about dislodging the incumbents. Why did I sound so sure? Let me tell you, and I will say this in Yoruba, wọ́n ní pé àrùn ojú ni nǹkan kò ṣe àrùn inú. If it is àrùn inú, you can say, oh, I can't smell. I don't smell anything. But when it's about seeing something, we all know what is possible and we know what is not possible. Yoruba also said that Sunday the Baba died, Friday, nothing more. Ojúkàdé bá ní kálẹ̀, kò tí a òwúrọ̀ kó máa ṣe ní. Let me tell you, frankly here, it's either we say it or we keep quiet about it. We all know the factors that led to the APC's loss of the last election. If anybody had told us 2 weeks before the election that Adelabu was not going to take the governor, I believe 80% of people in this room do not believe it. We ran a robust campaign, issue-based campaign. We taught the entire state. We taught almost every word. And we were discussing issues. We ignored personalities. We were popular. The family pedigree was there. Our own career history was there. We had the incumbency in the states. We had the incumbency in the federal. We had the performing governor that did well in infrastructure. So what else will you need to win an election? And let me tell you, God only wants to show us that it is only when He says yes that it is yes. Yes. If He says no, there is no amount of logic or wealth of material or worldly things that can make you to be governor. Let's say Abiola Ajimobi became governor in 2011. His party was not the incumbent party. Both at the state and at the federal, that he won the election, he dislodged the incumbents. This last election, PDP was not in Oyo State. PDP was not at the federal. The PDP won in Oyo State. If you look at the average number of votes that the progressives have always been using to win the election in Oyo State, APC scored more than that vote in 2019. So why did you win? But the hand of God I saw in this was there was a coalition. There was a coalition. In 2015, Abiola Ajimobi scored 330,000 votes. Baba Rashid Ladoja scored 270,000 votes. Governor Akala scored 180,000 votes. Tessin Fulani scored 70,000 votes. Oyeseyi scored about 40,000 votes. If Ladoja and Akala had come together, 270 plus 180 is what? It's 450. That would have been 450, have you? If Fulani alone had joined Ladoja, the 70 plus 270 would have been 340. Wouldn't they have displaced Governor Ajimobi? But God did not allow that coalition to happen at that time. And Ajimobi won with 330,000 votes. But this past year, this last election, it means that we had more votes than in 2015. But there was a coalition. Why I'm saying this is, I want to assume that the 515,000 votes that PDP recorded, I want to assume that it was genuine. We challenged it in court, but we saw a lot of infraction, but the court said, oh, it was okay. So I want to assume that it was okay. So it was the result of the coalition that actually dislodged APC. That's the, please note that. Immediately after the resumed office, do we still have the coalition intact? No, it's all in the news. 550 and 357. If, let's assume, 100,000 of their votes had left them now. If you add, you remove 100,000 from 550, what does it remain? 415. If you add 100,000 to 357, what does it amount to? 457. And I'm telling you that today, we as APC have not lost a single vote. Because you don't lose votes when you are not in government. You don't step on toes. Nobody assesses your performance. It is only those in government that will lose followers. Our voters today are being vindicated. They already tell them they didn't ask you to vote for Adelabu, which means that our vote is still intact. I can tell you that today, with the collapse of the coalition, they have lost more than 200,000 votes. And you won't see this until
hold the next election. I think they still lose more. ADC, I mean, the major player in ADC, Chief Laleyi, is with APC now. He has declared openly for APC. The Zenith Labour Party, by Ladoja and Sharaf Adinali, they have left the coalition. So what is left? And I can tell you that speculations then, bookmakers had it on record that if we had contested elections in our individual manner, the current governor would have come third or fourth, based on records and history. Probably APC comes first, probably ADC, Laleyi comes second. Maybe between him and the next person, they will fight for the number 3. But they all stepped down for him. Because in 2015 when he contested, he scored less than 50,000 votes. So what had happened to him between 2015 and 2019? It was the support of the other parties. So I'm so sure that, number one, he has not impressed his immediate constituency, which are the partners in the coalition. And that's been made open. There have been official release to that effect. Number two is the fact that this government has not done anything significant. Close to 1.5 years in office today. I don't want to go into details because I can start analyzing their so-called enlisted or futuristic projects. They have about 2 years to go. Which of the projects can they even complete? You understand? So, and if you look at the personality involved, when it comes to having stakes in Oyo State, when it comes to contributing commercially to Oyo State, when it comes to providing employment to people from Oyo State, you cannot compare the incumbent governor with the exploit of Bayo Adelabu in Oyo State. We all know. But it's not about giving people fish to eat. It's about teaching them how to fish. You don't have to come to my house to be begging for 5,000, 10,000 on a daily basis. Even if I keep giving it to you, the day I'm not around, you cannot get 5,000, you cannot get 10,000. But if I provide you an employment, you don't have to see me before you go to work and you collect your monthly salary. There is dignity in labor. We should not exploit ourselves. We should empower ourselves. And there is no empowerment that is greater than providing jobs for people to earn their daily bread. You're not doing favor by giving handouts almost on the daily. It's only when people are disabled, or they are widows, or they are orphans. But people that went to school with their 2 hands and their 2 legs, provide employment for them. They can fend for themselves and they have opportunity to become anything in life. So when you consider personalities, I believe that our people will get to know more. One mistake that we made last election is that we had so short a time between the time I left office and came to politics that a lot of people did not really know me personally. They only know my family name and they see me from afar. They don't really know the kind of stuff I'm made of in terms of closeness to people, in terms of believing in the people and trying to uplift the downtrodden. But this has afforded us more time and opportunity to make ourselves open to people. Since 2019, I've not left Ibadan. I've not even slept in Lagos for 1 day. We are here, we will remain here, and will continue to passionately contribute to the development of the state. With the kind of politicians that we have displayed in APC, and there's no crisis in APC again, the peace is reigning. And with the poor performance of this government, I believe it will be easier for APC to dislodge the Labour Party. Thank you. Muslim King, why did you say, okay, it's true, my brother, I remember very well, when you met me at Base 1, I had a chat, and I told you, from the look of things, from scientific survey that we had, it was not going to be possible to have more than 100,000 votes. formed a coalition. If you have to analyze the followership of PDP, the followership of ADC, the followership of ZLP, the follow ADC, ZLP, and the Bolaji Ayodele's party, SDP, I can tell you that if you analyze their contribution to that 500,000 votes, PDP will not have more than 100,000. So I still stand by my words. There are more ADC voters and ZLP voters. The combination of Babaladoja, Lale, and Sharafa, it was so visible in the votes of Seyi Makinde. So if I said it was not going to take more than 100,000 votes, I think I knew what I was saying. Oh, let me just leave it at that. So I meant what I said. Our own first time, my first time was 2019. If I could muster votes up to 357,000 votes, that's 40% of voters said they wanted us. First time appearance, first attempt. I believe the work we are going to do, that we have been doing the last 1.5 years and the next 2.5 years before the election will give us a lot of votes. Because people's eyes are now wide open. Let me tell you, I want to also state something. Philanthropy is good. But philanthropy should not be a basis for selecting people to handle governance. This is a clear case. The current government in Oyo State, since 2007, 2011, 2015, distribute gari, distribute rice, give money to people, this and that. Why has it continued? You understand? We should refuse to be deceived again. Philanthropy is not a basis for governorship. It's true that we must have the interest of the people at heart, so that when you get there, you're able to use the state resources to cater for the welfare of the people. But it must be institutionalized, not your personal money. So your expert in education, your expert in health, your expert in security of lives and property, your expert in environment, in the economy, in transport, should be the top notch when you get to government. But we're not seeing all this. How do you see Ibadan is so dirty now? Check the median of the roads. You see refuse all over. I've never seen the kind of traffic. I mean, good luck. I've never experienced it in Ibadan than we are experiencing today. Everywhere, every little junction, with very few vehicles. So things that do not even require you spending money, traffic management alone, is because they are just not interested. What have they done to agriculture? What have they done to education? The schools are almost crowded. You removed 3,000, 1,000 naira per term. Now there is no money to run the schools. We were paying for our fees. You are not paying it. But the issue is that you would not even see the immediate impact of this until later when they start taking exams. What have you done to the hospitals in the last 1.5 years? Are you encouraging our people to just be bus drivers and conductors? They are spending a whooping 20 billion on, motor parks. What has happened to the new garages that will be built at New Garage and the road at Wema? They are abandoned. But the next is to use 5 billion per garage in the same zone, Ibadan. But you can renovate 100 secondary schools at 100 million. 100 primary schools at 50 million. That will be 15 billion. And you can pick 5 general hospitals and spend 1 billion on each of the general hospitals. You have Adeoyo University, Adeoyo Ring Road, you have Oyo General, you have Shaki, you have Ogbomoso. If you spend 1 billion on each of these general hospitals, you will see the impact. And you will have covered more local government and more people. In Ibadan alone, 20 billion on garages. Doesn't make sense. You have to spend 5.5 billion on Adama Super Stadium. When you stadium overseas, they are empty. Just in Ibadan alone. How How many youths go to Adamasimba? Or you could do mini sports centers across all the 33 local governments. Come to this one, Bauer Leisure, Sport and Leisure Club. How much did you build that? Do you know the influx and traffic of youths into this private sports center in Jericho on a daily basis to engage our youth? You can use that 5 billion to build 2 per local government, 66 of that. At 75 million, we'll give you 4.95 billion. You understand? And we have touched more lives of youth than putting it in Adamasimba. So, we can go on and on and that. Today is not to criticize government, but there are a lot of things they can do better. And can you lease a shopping complex 4.8 billion for 15 years? That's a rate of 98 million naira per year on the entire Agbo shopping complex. Even that's such a huge space of land. Without building on it, you cannot rent it for 100 million a year. Anywhere. So, I don't know how they look at this state. Probably they don't even know the state to start with. The government must have the state at the palm of his hands. Every look and cranny, every local government, you must know and the need of each of them. But if you don't know that, just sit in the back. They don't even have money to widows, give it to disabled, do this to that. And now you have become governor, then you are bereft of ideas. Should it be like that? They are now, our eyes are wide open, and I believe we as youths, we should do things better. Regret so far at 50. To the glory of God, sincerely, I don't have any regrets. Nobody lives a perfect life, but I have contentment. With the little God has blessed me with, I cherish good health, I cherish long life, I cherish being able to cater for immediate family and extended family and assist your close ones. If you can do all this, sincerely, you should be thankful to God. If someone said this year that we should start counting how much God has blessed us, let us all wait till December 31. And when it is January 1, and you can still wake up and open your eyes, you should be thankful to God that God has spared your life. Do we know the number of people that have died in this year? I know. We have never experienced it that bad since I grew up. For God sparing our lives, not just sparing our lives, but giving us good health is enough cause to thank God. I can feel for my family. I can take responsibility as a father, as a husband. I've risen to enviable positions in private sector and public sector. What more can I ask of God? I must say it and put it on record today. Being the governor of Lagos State, Oyo State today will be an icing on my cake. And so shall it be. Yeah, it's an icing on the cake. I already have the cake. But we must assist our people. I would have had the Bamu the Oyo. If you can put me no. Olówó kan méje mẹ́jọ. There are a lot of unemployed graduates out there. Why will you just say because we are comfortable alone, you don't care what happens? I can easily travel to Lagos and be living there. My house is in Banana Island in Lagos. I can't remember the last time I slept there. I can also relocate and stay in London and not mind what's happening in Ibadan or Nigeria. But no, that's not the way God has made me. We must all stay here and we must make this country, we must make this state better. That is my own philosophy. Dr. Faraday, the ongoing constitution process in APC, leadership crisis, posed by Take Home, who is the leader of the party. Let me state unequivocally here that as it is today, there is no longer crisis in APC. Please clap for our party. Yes, I can tell you, I've been part of the peace and reconciliation process. I was in Abuja. All the 3 meetings we had in Abuja, I was there. And it's all over the social media. My picture was there. I was part of the meeting at Governor Akala's residence, the local reconciliation committee. I was part of the final meeting that we had in Governor Fayemi's house. I can tell you that deliberations and decisions reached. Yes, and the decisions reached at the meeting is very encouraging. Everybody is now ready to work together. And we don't have all this unity group, Lamis or Senaco or Reformers. No, it's only one APC that we have. And so shall it be. So there's peace in APC. But one thing that we know is that the issue of leadership evolves. When you have a governor or the incumbent ruling party, the governor is always the leader. When you don't have a governor, we know that we have leaders. But what we have resolved to have is a college of leaders. So we're having a collegiate leadership system in APC. And today, Governor Alao Adebayo Akala has been appointed the chairman of the College of Leaders. Yes, that is the resolution reached. So there's no single leader, we have leaders. And the issue is that anybody in politics that has 1, 2, 3, 4 people following him is a leader in his own respect. You have leaders in the world. In fact, you have leaders in your house. You have leaders in the world. You have leaders in local government. You have leaders in the states. The one thing that we resolved was that as part, nobody that still has ambition, nobody that still has aspiration will be allowed to be a member of the collegiate leadership. So that they are objective, they are straightforward, they are not sentimental. That's what we agreed at the meeting. Yeah, someone talk about godfatherism and all that. You know, we always mix it up. The issue of Edo State, I will not comment so much, but let me say something about what came out of your question. What's my take on godfatherism? Yoruba says, Tí a ò bá lé ẹni bálà, ọ̀nà kì í yábọ̀. There is always what we call mentoring. Even before I answer that question, let me also mention something I missed out about the reconciliation process. Beyond the general reconciliation process that we are having, I have taken it upon myself to personally get involved in this reconciliation process, which is why you have seen me visiting a lot of local governments, visiting a lot of leaders to appeal to everybody to sheath their swords. There's only in unity that we can actually dislodge the corrector. It has been yielding a lot of fruits. So, and I will not relent, I will continue doing that. In terms of God, you could call it godfatherism. I believe in mentoring. For example, you can take me as an example. I didn't enter politics until the age of 47. Let's say 46, thereabouts. In the private sector, in the corporate sector, probably at that age, I don't really need much of tutelage because I was already directors and deputy governor then. But in politics, that means I was just starting. And I was aspiring to be the governor. I must pass through certain tutelage. I must come into politics through someone. I will not call an advisor. But are people mistaking it for godfatherism? What is godfatherism in politics? So I believe more in mentoring than godfatherism. The people coming to politics too must come with a lot of integrity. When you have an agreement with someone, an agreement must be an agreement. So far, it is not hurting the people that voted at the last APC election. Was a mix or a hybrid of consensus and indirect primary. You know, in spite of stepping down by some of the aspirants, we still went ahead and held election. I hope you know that. We had an election. it was not all the candidates, all the aspirants that stepped down. There were just 4 aspirants that stepped down for me. Dr. Olagbe Balawa, Erobodo, Tebio, and there's a 4th person. Akitola finally stepped down. 4 of them. They are still contested with the remaining 2 or 3. And I won. I still have the record. I have the certificate at home. So I was not unpicked. I was not imposed. And let me ask you a question. If you had a congregation of over 6,000 delegates, and you all had the mind of voting for a particular candidate or aspirants, maybe you have 80% of your votes, and someone came and said some aspirants, including your candidate, should step down for an unpopular candidate, what do you think will happen at the stadium? Will there be an uproar? There will be violence, and some people live in annoyance. But when the other aspirants stepped down for me, there was jubilation. We still have the videos. You are out there. We started the election 10 a.m. on a Sunday. We did not leave the field until 5:30 a.m. the following day. And what were we doing? We were dancing all through. There was no single violence because everybody stayed back, including the governor himself and his wife, including all the party chairmen. So everybody was happy that the candidate they all planned to come and vote for, they only made it easier for him. If they had another candidate in mind, I believe that we will not have up to 20% of that stadium or people in that stadium to stay back. Everybody stepped back and they ensured I emerged. It's not that they don't have respect for the other candidates, other aspirants. APC is where we have the abundance of talent in Oyo State that can rule Oyo State the way we want them to rule. The other parties don't really have such galaxy of stars that have performed in their respective discipline and endeavors. It's only APC. We had too many of them. That's why it became an issue that some plan to step for some. Not that I was the best among them. I was the youngest, truly. And I can always tease them. And they just push their youngest brother forward to go and represent them. Just like I rose to the top of my profession, there were others who also rose to the top of their profession. You are also qualified. But it's only one person that we must speak. So which is why till today, all of us are still friends. Myself, Tebio, Erobodo, Dr. Olagbe, and all of them. So, whether I'll still be the candidate in 2023, I will not preempt, but I will leave you to answer that question. If you have someone, want to send someone an errand to Lagos from Ibadan, you have sent someone from Lagos, you get to the middle pocket, that's Okere. From Okere, you pass through Oderemo, Ibero. You get to Mowe, Abi, that's Medin. From there, you get to Ibafo. Ibafo, you get to Magboro. Magboro, you get to Areko. Areko, you get to Baga. You send someone an errand to Lagos. You go to Long Bridge, looking at Baga, just to cross to Baga. But there's a little traffic. Now, the person cannot get to Lagos. But because he cannot get to Lagos, the traffic is still there. When the traffic clears, you'll be able to cross over. Will you now bring up another person from Ibadan to start on the same road? And you are sure that this person has gotten to Lagos? Will you pick up another person? You won't pick up that because you spend, in fact, the person will not get to Okere. All you do is to ensure that that traffic is clear so the person can jump to Baga and deliver your message. So if you are the leaders in our party, I think whatever is your decision should be the decision of APC. That's what I'm saying. So I have Ahmed Hamzat. The ICT skill, the project we have at Olufemi, that's where I grew up anyway, but not East. And I did it there specifically. Not just ICT, we have a workshop for fashion designing, workshop for hairdressing, we have ICT, and we have a hall where we can also teach people other vocation, soap making, makeup artists and all that. We were supposed to have opened this thing in April, but due to COVID, we had to defy it. And I can tell you, before the end of this year, we will open them. It's complete. Everything is there. We are going to start before the end of this year. Thank you for that observation. Yes. John Tendi, OGBC. Economy of the country. What is happening in the economy in the way? Let me tell you, my main concern is on your state. Even though I have a general concern for Nigeria. Nigeria economic problem, if I start analyzing it from today, you people will not live here. You know I'm an economist, I'm an accountant, I'm a former banker and a former deputy governor of Nigeria. So let me tell you, our major problem is lack of self-sufficiency. When you rely too much on things coming from outside, you will always have this problem. We will not even care about what dollar costs. If we don't have costs to import things from overseas, if three things can be made available in this country today, our economy will be rejuvenated. Number one is the oil products, which is almost close to 30% of our import content. Fine, we produce crude oil here, then we import petrol, we import diesel, we import kerosene, we import everything. If we could complete Dangote's refinery that plans to produce 650 barrels of oil, petrol per day, the money we spend to import this, we'll be able to sell it. Number two is, it's so unfortunate that we're importing food items. We are not self-sufficient even in rice. Even for the fertilizers. So we have relied so much on imported items, so our demand for FX is always on the rise. And we are earning very little from what we export. When oil price was in the range of $100 to $140 per barrel, we didn't feel these problems. And that was when PDP was there. But we hardly eat $40 now. So there is a general drop in our foreign exchange earnings. But our importation is on the rise. So it's a combination of a pull and push factor. We are earning less, but we are now importing more. So the problem will always be there. So we should go back to the basics, ensure that we are able to consume what we produce. Let me tell you that in the past, before civilization, when you are a farmer, then you are producing rice, you are producing your pepper at your backyard, tomato, yam, this and that. You know, you could lock up your house and eat for 1 year without knowing what is happening in the next village. If you are also a hunter, you can actually bring in some bush meat. You can also go to the fish and get fish. Let me tell you, we distributed a lot of palliatives. We started with food, but it was becoming unfashionable because there was still contact when we were distributing the food. So I stopped food distribution and I started sending cash to people. Yes, we collected over 7,500 bank accounts and we sent money. And I can also tell you that I was the only person that gave lump sum to the religious bodies, both CAN and the Muslim Society of Nigeria, Oyo State. So we did a lot, but let me tell you, I try to spend less on publicity when it comes to philanthropy. Both the Holy Quran and the Bible says that when you are giving something to your left hand, Abi, your right hand must not know. Now let me tell you, politics has bastardized every more pains on the masses. You will never agree to it. No matter the political gain or political goodwill you are going to make from it, you will never. It's number one premises in Nigeria. So whatever has been done under his administration that appears to be inflicting more pain on the masses, sincerely, you only look at it from the surface. If you know the nitty-gritty, if you know the reasons, you will bear with it. Let me tell you, number one, what is the price of dollar today? The dollar market 470, 460. Officially 360, 380, 384 thereabout. And I told you that we import all these things. We will pay 360 per dollar for an import. Now they are paying 470. So the price increase may actually be foreign exchange based. Because we don't produce it here. If you produce it here, you can easily control the pricing and the cost. But we import it. So we should correct the problem from the roots and not from the surface. And I can also tell you that you don't look at such increase in isolation. You also look at the good side of what the body is doing. Let's look at the hike in electricity tariff. If there is a little increase in electricity tariff and light is constant, I know that we all have more regular light now than we used to have. Some areas are having 18 hours, some are having 16 hours. If there is regular electricity and all you have to spend on is electricity tariff, and you also have to spend on diesel or petrol or the generator, is it not cheaper? If in order to have regular light, they must increase the tariff and exclude or eliminate the cost of diesel. Is it not better? So I want us to look at it holistically and see the impact. So all this, I believe they are working on the communication strategy so that it will not affect our party in the coming election. That's what I believe. And what have I done? I just explained to you that if I come here today and start listing that, some people in my constituency came, I paid their school fees, I paid their hospital bills, I pay this, I pay that. Would you like to hear that? So asking for what I've done for grassroots since after election, I don't think it's something we can start listing. But let me tell you, it's what we do every day. You cannot be in politics and in one day as a leader, you not make transfer to people. Because there will always be requests on a daily basis. And you are doing that because you have been blessed by God. What about if you are the one on the other side that is begging for you to 5,000, 10,000, 15,000? So we do things almost on a daily basis. You cannot forget that people, irrespective of the fact that we just finished an election, we spent money, we have not seen the results, and we are not tired. They won't do it to the level that at the end of the day, we will have regrets. Which is why I said, I don't have any regret today. What my friend was expecting to say that, I spent so much money in 2019. I didn't win the election, so I regret it. I did not regret. I didn't even regret that I left my job at CPN. Because it has always been my plan to retire from any sort of job before the age of 50. So there's no regret for that. Can we leave that to the party? The party will determine who should step down and who should not step down. And I think I can relate this to the analysis of Aleppo to Lagos, or Ibadan to Lagos, as someone that's just starting from Ibadan to Lagos, where our vehicles not have accidents. The person who sent the on the errand did not have accidents till he gets to Baga. There was only delay by traffic. But can we expose a new person to start coming from Ibadan? So the party will decide that. Thank you. What is PDP doing now that they can do better? There are so many things they can do better. There are so many things they can do better. I will not start listing them. But you all know our agenda and the 7-point agenda that we campaign with. These people have not touched one of the agenda. Besides from security, to agriculture, to health, to education, to environment, to the economy. They have not touched. It's like the way everything looks today. It's like there is no governance. In any place that you get to, and within the space of 1 to 2 kilometers of driving on the road, you cannot feel government. How do you feel government? Number 1, through traffic control, through waste management. You can't feel anything. So what are they doing right? I don't think they're doing anything right yet. Tomorrow it will be different. But today, I'm not impressed by their journey so far. Inspiration of them. Any lesson learned from the election? Yes. So many lessons were learned from the election. And we started making corrections. And we also hope not to make any of those mistakes again in subsequent elections. But I don't think I want to discuss those lessons for now. All I know is that people should be number 1 for anybody that wants to contest an election. Someone asked a question about the relationship with late Governor Jimobi, that people said he preferred Toby. If someone prefers someone, why would you pick another person? Let me tell you, in politics, there are so much of essays. There are so much of insinuations. People look for body language. And there are a lot of people that want to go to this side, they will pretend that they want to go to this side. We don't look at that. We look at the final decision that someone has made. How did the old governor? Who could have questioned him? Hello? Who could have questioned the origin of this choice? And the time was governor. Nobody. So why would I pretend that is what I want, that I became this? Who was he impressing? So I will join those people that said we wanted to be. All we knew was that Oga was watching all of us. I was also watching the party. Was also watching the general voting public. And he was ready to go for the popular or the most popular choice. That's what happened. There was no preconceived selection of anybody before the election. He was only looking for someone that would win elections for our party. And he ended up picking Bayo Adelabu. Maybe they have been closer, they have done it before me. Likewise, other candidates actually did it before me. You understand? I didn't tell you before me. Governor Kala and they all knew Ajimobi before me. So they were claiming that they wanted to pick them too. No. So I can tell you that the party and our governor were all looking for a candidate that won election for the party, but he had preference for someone was just asking and signed up and it's unfounded. But we could see his final choice of Adebayo Adelabu. And he said it so many times after the election, after the court case, before his death, that he never had any regrets. We have witnesses here, his closer associate here. There's virtually a week that will pass without a guy saying that I never had a regret speaking Bayo. If I have the opportunity again, I will do it over and over and over again. And he can't assure them that Bayo, don't worry, you will become governor of the state. It's not a lie. Socrates, insignificant percentage of them read newspapers. Very few of them have the patience to watch TV and listen to news. But they have their phone in their hands 24/7. They are on Twitter, they are on Facebook, they are on WhatsApp, they are everywhere. Everybody, not just in politics, even in business, that is ignoring the new media is doing so at its own risk. Yes, it may not be as organized and structured as the level of the print media, where 80% of their news are genuine and are reliable. Even though 30% of new media is fake and not genuine. But despite that, you must be made there because they mold opinions, they manipulate impressions, and they create perceptions. So, anybody ignoring new media is doing so as its own risk. And again, I'm just below 50. I'm below 50, I can say that. So, I belong to the stress. On Monday, it's not my change anyway. I'll be 50 on Monday, but I'll be not 50 today. So, I'm just a youth, like those of, as I'm even 50 on Monday, social media, I'm on it. Yes, you may not find my name. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on everywhere. Whether with my full name or disguised name, I know what is going on. So that's the way to reach everybody. So I pay a lot of attention to the new media, even though I respect my people in the print and electronic media so much. The news in the social media, you have to scrutinize it very well before you can. When they say good morning, you have to open the window and say, these people have come, let me strike midnight. But it's okay. We'll continue to work together. Then lastly, the last question here. For my sister, Ashimolowo Bukola, did I ever regret going to APC? My answer is an emphatic no. No regrets. Sincerely, I don't try on rumors, I don't try on grapevine, I don't try on essay, I try on facts and empirical evidence. Today in Oyo State, let's forget Nigeria. My passion is Oyo State. Let's take the people they person to me. I can start naming out names. They don't have matching counterparts in PDP. We've got senators, we've got honorables, we've got chairman of local government, but they are PDP counterparts side by side. They are nobody in terms of what they can do. Yes. You understand? So, APC is the party to beat. We will have our own internal problems, which has come to an end. When Petro grew up, there will be no one else in deep and every aspiring man has declined from my Japanese. In PDP today, who do you think can challenge the Kuwait governor? Can you tell me? Do you think anybody in PDP can challenge the incumbent? No! come to materials, there's nobody who in APC who cannot say this is a qualified material. So, my sister, I don't have any regrets going to this party. If I had the opportunity to rejoin politics afresh, I would still join APC and not any other party. APC recognizes meritocracy, that objectivity, the exact sentiment, and fairness and justice is what we're holding as our prime principle. So I love this party. No party is perfect, but I can tolerate the little problems that we have in APC. Than go to a party where I will feel like a stranger. I will ask myself, do I really belong here? Well, people will be sitting down and be holding voting to mention them. I'm thinking of something that I'm laughing internally. That I won't laugh outside. Yes, I'm smiling internally. At 50, I feel more matured. I think I'm wiser now. I think I will make a better governor. I think I can hold my family together better. And I think I can get closer to God Almighty, who's our creator. So, whatever you need to write out there, please write it as I've said it. It's not everybody that will like you, but whoever doesn't like us, it's better you don't report what you did not hear. You can be quiet. But I know that you are all my friends. They sincerely, jokes apart, I mean well for this state. And it's not for my personal gain, it's for the upliftment of the state and the development of our youths. Because they say we are the leaders of tomorrow. Me, there is no tomorrow again. We are the leaders of from today. But leaders from today. So let us take our own destiny into our own hands, because we should be the architects of our own fortune. At 25, nobody should decide to you what you want to do. You should decide what you want to do. And I've made enough sacrifices. No, I don't have any regrets. The job I left, some people will try to get it. The businesses I have here, some people will take it to Lagos for more profits. But me, I think I've shown enough interest and passion for this state, and I think I should be given a chance. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening.